Over the last few years, I saw a lot of videos on YouTube that says good guys comes last. There are even a few big YouTubers that made videos on how to be a bad guy. So first, I just ignored it, but recently I got a few video requests to make a video of how to be a cool bad guy. So I decided I just have to make a video that is basically the opposite. Because I do not believe that good guys comes last. There's no evidence that supports it as well. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about good guys do not come last when it comes to relationships and to life itself, when we look at the bigger picture. So let's get right into the video. Now let's look at relationships first. There's a lot of people out there that believe good guys comes last when it comes to relationships, but is that true? Definitely not. Studies has actually shown that women that are looking for the right guy prefer someone with a good and kind heart, especially when it comes to long-term relationships. Now, if you're a good guy, they know that they can trust you and that you'll be a good father as well. And even though a girl might date a bad guy or two, at the end they usually come to their senses and realize that they don't want to settle with a bad guy. Because a woman who is content with herself and her life knows what she wants and won't put up with a bad guy. But sadly, it often takes a bad guy or two for a woman to realize what she wants and what she deserves, how she deserves to be treated. So at the end, bad guys actually helps good guys to win. Because they help women to appreciate good guys a lot more. Now, for most young and insecure women out there, the appeal of a bad guy might be because she confuses his boldness and bad guy style for confidence. And most girls want a strong, confident guy that they can rely on. So it is a man's confidence in himself that attracts a lot of girls. And some other women might just want a very quick date. And a bad guy is better for her to date because she thinks she won't get too emotionally attached. And if you're a good guy and want a longer term relationship with a good woman, these are not the kind of women that you want to date anyway. So women do not dislike good guys. That is a wrong assumption. What they dislike is guys that come across as having very low self-esteem and looking desperate by being overly kind to such a degree that people walk all over them or push them around. So they don't like pushovers. Girls like good guys that are confident in themselves. It's kind of common sense, because how can a woman be confident in a man if he's not even confident in himself? I'm not saying that it's not possible, I'm just saying it's a lot harder for women to fall in love with or like a guy that is not confident in himself. Now, I've heard that there's a lot of women out there that complain and they say, hey, where has all the good men gone? There's so few good guys out there in the world today. And you've probably heard it yourself as well. The perception that there's so few good guys out there is actually a good thing for you if you're a good guy, because it increases your value so much more. So if you're a good guy, do not change. Now, for any girl out there lamenting over a bad guy, what you are probably really sad about is the fantasies that you've been created in your mind about this guy. Because it is very easy to see a bad guy for what you imagine him to be in the future as well, compared to what he really is. So my advice to you is be very careful, because you might experience a lot of pain in the future if you're not careful. That being said, I have seen a few really good guys change because of a good woman, but that is not guaranteed. So do you want to know what is sexier than a bad guy? It's a good guy that treats you with respect, a gentleman. A good man does not love a million girls. He loves one girl in a million ways. Because good men see the whole picture. They know that the real power of a man lies in the size of the smile of the woman sitting next to him. Don't just judge a man on his looks or material possessions. There are a lot of good guys out there in the world. You'll find them when you start to evaluate men based on their character. You'll find an honest, kind, strong, motivated, and hard-working man that treats you the way you should be treated. Now let's look at the bigger picture here. A lot of bad guys out there believe that good guys comes last. Why? Because they don't realize that good guys are usually running a different race. Some people make generalized assumptions that good guys are pushovers. So let me make it clear. Being a pushover and being a good guy is not the same thing. A good man can see the whole picture of life. He has insight and wisdom, so he knows when to control his emotions. While bad guys, they're more like they just see tunnel vision, and they try to act tough to get what they want. But you know, it is easy to get angry, to be arrogant, rude and selfish in this world. But it takes more inner strength to be kind and to be humble. Let me explain. Nice guys are winners even before the race starts, because they have the ability to see the bigger picture of the consequences of their decisions and actions. Good men and women are the only people that are keeping this world from falling apart. Pollution, crime, corruption are increasing everywhere every day, and people are finding it harder and harder to cope with everything that is going on. And did you know that there's 3,000 suicides every day and 60,000 attempted suicides every day? So the last thing we need is more videos on YouTube telling people to be bad guys so you won't be a pushover. Because fighting evil with evil is just gonna continue this endless cycle. You don't have to be a bad guy to cope in a bad world. Think about this. 60,000 people in the world are trying to kill themselves every day because the world is already bad enough. A world where people are becoming more selfish, arrogant, and having less empathy for another human being. We are all born innocent. But as we grow up and experience the world, and as we experience pain, then there's usually a point in everybody's life where they have to make a decision on how they are going to choose to live in this world. Am I going to become harder to kind of deal with this world that is becoming darker every day? Or will I stand my ground and stand against it? The easier choice will just be to go along with everything, won't it? That's what most people do. Or will you stand your ground, fight against it, and make this world a better place? Will you become a good man that this world so desperately needs? Now, I've told you that being a good guy and a pushover is not the same thing. So what is a good guy and what makes them different from bad guys? Good men are bold yet humble, strong yet gentle. And they are confident, not arrogant, kind but not weak. They are dependable, trustworthy, forgiving, self-controlled, discreet, attentive, loving, and well-mannered. A good man is a gentleman. A good man can be shamed because it shows his conscience still works. A good man can be embarrassed because it shows that he's not completely egocentric. A good man can blush because it shows that he's not emotionally desensitized. Now, don't ever mistake a good man's heart for weakness, because it takes a lot more true strength and courage to be a good man in this world. Bad guys will always come last because their perception of what it means to be a good guy is wrong. A bad guy can never be a true leader. Only a good man can. Because the character of a good man encourages other people to become better men and build a better world for everyone. I personally do not want to be an arrogant alpha male that just cares about myself, trying to be better than other people looking down on them, and think that my value as a human being is higher than other people. I would rather be a lone wolf that is not influenced by group pressure and that stands his ground for what is right, even if it is against a pack of wolves. Because with time, this lone wolf will inspire others, and in so doing become a good leader that will serve and build up others to become good leaders as well. You have to make your choice to become a good guy or a bad guy. I made my choice years ago when I lost my second brother. He died in a car crash and it shocked my whole life. But this painful experience allowed me to see the bigger picture of life. I realized that life is only temporary. My life, yours, is like a flower. One day we're here, the next we'll be gone. And at that moment I realized I was living my life selfishly. And I had no peace in my heart. So I made my choice. I decided to change, to become better, to become a good guy. And you have to make your own decision. Because when you die, and you will, because everybody dies, you cannot take money or any other material possessions with you, but you will leave behind the influence that you had on other people. So let me ask you, how do you want people to remember you? The choice is yours.